Hello everyone, and welcome to Wisdom and Wealth, a channel dedicated to helping you navigate life's journey with clarity and purpose. We create content especially for those over 40, offering insights into personal growth, financial well-being, and spiritual understanding. Today, we're diving into a profound topic, recognizing when the best stage of your life is about to begin. It's a journey inward, a transformation that's often subtle yet deeply impactful. Please subscribe to Wisdom and Wealth for more on Buddhist teachings. Click the subscribe button below. A tree doesn't announce its blossoming with a shout. The mountain doesn't roar when sunlight graces its peak. Similarly, the most powerful transformations in life often arrive quietly. They're felt deeply within, yet seen slowly unfolding over time. In the wisdom of Zen and Buddhist philosophy, change isn't simply a result of time passing. It's the product of an internal ripening, a process of inner growth and maturation. Just as a lotus flower doesn't force its petals to open, your life unfolds with its own precision and divine timing, guided by the alignment of your internal world with truth. A well-known saying says, "When the student is ready, the teacher will appear." When the soul is ripe and ready, the path opens effortlessly on its own. This timeless Buddhist teaching carries a valuable secret. The best stage of life isn't something you earn, chase after, or try to manipulate. Instead, it begins the moment you become inwardly prepared. Many people look outward for signs of progress, for validation and external markers of success. But the true indicators that your life is about to take a divine turn appear within you. These signs are often subtle, sometimes confusing, yet always transformative. They're not random feelings or fleeting emotions but echoes of a universal law. When suffering has taught you enough, peace inevitably begins to rise. This message is for those who appreciate these deeper ideas. If that sounds like you, please like this video. We're about to explore one such unfolding, a story that reflects every viewer's hidden journey, a journey from fear into clarity, from confusion into stillness, and from limitation into liberation. The journey begins with the cracking of old skin, the shedding of outdated beliefs and patterns. The story starts with a man sitting at the edge of a lake, not seeking something tangible, but yearning to feel something authentic. Life had worn him down in ways he struggled to articulate. Nothing on the outside appeared broken, yet something inside ached with an invisible heaviness. This is how the first sign that the best stage of life is near often manifests. A sacred dissatisfaction. This dissatisfaction doesn't scream or demand attention, it whispers, subtly nudging you toward a deeper truth. It's the feeling that the same old things no longer feed the spirit. The things you once celebrated now feel hollow and empty. The laughter around you sounds distant and muted, and the distractions of the world lose their appeal. This isn't sadness or depression, it's sacred discomfort, a sign that a deeper truth has begun to stir within. Zen teaches, when the cup is full, it must be emptied before it can be filled again. What many see as emptiness is, in truth, the soul making space for something new. We believe in sharing this wisdom with as many people as possible. To help us continue creating content like this, please share this video. In his silence, the man began to realize something profound. The pain wasn't punishment. It was preparation. He was being stripped bare, not to be destroyed, but to be discovered. If everything begins to feel unfamiliar, if your interests shift without explanation, and if solitude begins to call your name, don't resist these feelings. You're not breaking down, you're softening, preparing for a significant arrival. The next phase involves the disappearance of noise, a turning away from external distractions and a turning inward to listen to the whispers of your own soul. He no longer responded quickly to every demand or invitation. Conversations that once stirred up excitement now felt unnecessary. He observed more and spoke less. He found himself stepping away from people who brought chaos into his life, not out of anger or resentment, but out of a deep need for peace. This second sign of spiritual transition is detachment without resentment. This detachment isn't a cold, impenetrable wall. It's a sacred boundary, a way of protecting your energy and preserving your inner peace. Zen masters explain that silence isn't the absence of speech but the presence of awareness. We hope our videos will enable you to reach the silence the Zen masters refer to. Please consider subscribing to Wisdom and Wealth for more Buddhist teachings. In the stillness, he began to hear his own inner rhythm, not the clamor of expectations but the quiet beat of his own essence. People noticed the change. Some misunderstood, while others faded away. But the more he honored this quiet inner space, the more clarity began to replace confusion. He no longer chased after fleeting pleasures or external validation. He no longer felt the need to explain himself to others. He simply observed, allowing life to unfold naturally. Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water, a Zen proverb wisely states. This saying hides a profound key: life may look the same on the outside, but your awareness transforms completely. The best stage of your life doesn't begin when the world applauds you, it begins when you stop needing applause. If peace has become more important than validation, if quiet moments nourish you more than lively company, and if letting go feels easier than holding on, then the sacred door is opening. This is followed by the return of energy. One morning, he woke up with a sense of calm he couldn't quite explain. Nothing on the outside had changed, but his heart felt lighter, less burdened. The fear he had carried like heavy armor felt thinner, less constricting. He moved through his day with a still, centered presence. The mind, once a cacophony of noise, now paused gracefully between thoughts. The third sign is this: your energy returns in a new form. It's no longer the frantic energy of excitement or the anxious energy of striving, but the calm, steady energy of alignment. You no longer seek external motivation, you become disciplined without force, rising earlier not to prove your worth, but simply to live more fully. Food tastes better, breathing feels deeper, and music touches something sacred within you again. You are experiencing what the Buddhist calls samadhi, the first fruit of internal balance. In Buddhist teaching, this state is called samadhi, the first fruit of internal balance. It's a subtle harmony between effort and surrender, a state that arises when suffering no longer owns you. You begin to see purpose in things you once ignored. You notice the gentle sound of leaves rustling in the breeze, the intricate patterns of the wind, the simple rise and fall of your breath. You stop waiting for big, momentous occasions and begin to live fully in the spaces between them. When you feel lighter without reason, when you notice beauty in silence, and when you find meaning in ordinary moments, know that the best chapter is arriving, not through struggle but through stillness. This leads to the unseen reordering of your life. Without conscious planning or forceful manipulation, he began to move through life differently. He decluttered his physical space, simplifying his daily routine. He said no, without guilt or hesitation. He walked without rushing, savoring each step. He became available only to peace, guarding his energy and choosing his engagements carefully. The fourth sign is subtle yet powerful: life begins to reorder itself around your new frequency. What no longer aligns with your authentic self fades away, gently releasing its hold. What once confused you becomes clear, revealing its hidden purpose. Paths close, not to punish you, but to redirect you toward a more aligned destiny. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, mirrors your internal state. Zen reminds us that things aren't inherently difficult to do, what's difficult is to put yourself in a state of mind where you can do them effortlessly. Once the inner world is cleansed and aligned, the outer world responds in kind. Opportunities appear without forcing, people arrive with aligned energy, and conflicts reduce, resolving themselves more easily. You begin to trust again, not necessarily in others, but in your own journey, in the wisdom of your own soul. He realized that destiny wasn't a place to arrive at, but a rhythm to embody. When the rhythm of the heart and the rhythm of life match, destiny becomes the dance of presence. This will lead to love that needs no object. He felt love without needing someone to give it back to him. He felt gratitude without anything new or extraordinary to celebrate. His joy came from within, a calm, unwavering joy without a peak or a specific reason. This is the deepest sign. Love begins to flow freely, without attachment or expectation. Zen and Buddhist teachings agree that true love isn't personal, it's a state of presence. You stop loving people because of what they do or don't do, and begin loving them simply because you see yourself in them, recognizing the shared humanity that connects us all. The ego dissolves, separation fades, and even pain no longer breeds hatred, it births compassion, a deep understanding and empathy for the suffering of others. This isn't weakness or naivete, it's strength beyond words. Buddha taught, hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. This is the eternal law. He now walked through life with an open heart, unguarded yet protected by wisdom. He no longer needed to be understood or validated. He no longer feared rejection or judgment. His heart had become vast enough to contain everything, yet light enough to carry nothing. When you begin to love without needing, forgive without forgetting, and live without depending, then the greatest stage of life has not only begun, it has already arrived. This leads to inner guidance becoming stronger than external advice. He once sought answers in every book, every person, every place, desperately searching for direction and validation. Now, he listens to a quieter guide, his own inner presence. The sixth sign is this: your intuition becomes louder than your anxiety. You no longer ask, what if it goes wrong? You begin asking, what if this is exactly what is right? Doubt loses its grip, and faith in your own path grows stronger. You still feel fear, but it no longer controls you. You begin to walk forward with sacred curiosity, trusting that you will find the right path. This is the birth of trust, not in outcomes or external circumstances, but in the self who faces them with courage and grace. Zen teaches, the way is not in the sky, the way is in the heart. This is why the best stage of life doesn't necessarily look perfect on the outside. It feels aligned on the inside. You begin to see that perfection isn't about avoiding mistakes, but about bringing your full, unwavering presence to them. When your inner compass speaks louder than others' opinions, when you trust your next step even without seeing the whole path, you are already inside your highest season. Finally, we arrive at the birth of gratitude for the past. He once wanted to forget his past, to erase the painful memories and rewrite the narrative of his life. Now, he bows to it, recognizing the invaluable lessons embedded within each experience. Every heartbreak became a lesson in self-love and resilience. Every delay revealed divine timing, protecting him from paths that weren't meant for him. Every rejection shielded something sacred, guiding him toward opportunities that were truly aligned with his soul. The final sign is this: you no longer curse your journey, you bless it. This isn't denial of pain or a superficial attempt to gloss over difficult experiences, it's integration, a profound acceptance of the past as an integral part of your present self. The past no longer pulls you down with regret or resentment, it lifts you up with understanding and compassion. He smiled at the reflection in the water, not because all was perfect or problem-free, but because he no longer needed it to be. He had found a deeper source of peace within himself. Let go, or be dragged, wisely says a Zen proverb. Letting go isn't losing, it's gaining space for the truth to rise within you. And the truth is this: you are not late, you are not lost, you are being shaped by a force more intelligent than fear. The best stage of your life doesn't begin when you get everything you want, it begins when you realize you are everything you need. It is the realization of the arrival that was always within you. If your soul has started asking deeper questions, if you no longer desire noise and superficiality, if simplicity excites you more than attention, then your arrival has begun, not to a destination but to yourself. Zen and Buddhist wisdom isn't about future promises or distant rewards, it's about present awakenings. You don't enter the best stage of life by chance, you recognize it by how deeply your heart starts returning to itself. No trumpet will announce it, no crowd will cheer it, but you will know it by the way peace starts greeting you at the door of each moment. So breathe. You are not becoming someone new, you are finally remembering who you were before the world taught you to forget. It is the inner blossoming before the outer breakthrough. The journey we've shared may seem quiet and unassuming, yet within it echoes the sound of a soul remembering its true nature. In Zen and Buddhist thought, progress isn't always measured in steps forward, but in layers peeled away. What appears as stillness is sometimes the greatest form of movement. What feels like retreat is often the sacred pause before the leap. Let us reflect on each sign, not as chapters that end, but as doors that are still opening. The first door is sacred dissatisfaction, when the soul craves what the mind cannot name. This dissatisfaction isn't about ingratitude or discontentment, it's a seed of spiritual awakening. When nothing excites you as it once did, the soul is longing to touch something deeper than achievement, deeper than validation, deeper than belonging. You are not broken or flawed, you are being emptied of illusions. The best stage begins not when everything is full, but when what's false begins to fall away. Let this stage come with grace and acceptance. Do not rush to fill the void with distractions or temporary fixes. Sit with it, listen to its wisdom, and allow it to stretch you open. A deeper fulfillment is being prepared, one that will not depend on outer conditions but on inner truth. Remember that the river carves valleys, not through force, but through patience. The second door is detachment without bitterness, the birth of sacred boundaries. In the story we shared, detachment came as a soft withdrawal, not of anger or resentment, but of peace. You know you are evolving when your silence says more than your words ever could. Walking away doesn't always mean giving up, sometimes it's honoring what no longer echoes your truth. Zen doesn't teach suppression of emotion, it teaches non-identification with what no longer serves your growth. If others fade away, if connections dissolve, accept the sacred lesson. Not everything is meant to be permanent. Some souls are bridges, not homes. True maturity arrives when you stop resenting what ended and begin bowing to what it taught you. In silence, your true frequency speaks, and what resonates with that frequency will find its way to you without force, without noise. The third door is the return of energy, when life flows again. Energy that returns after suffering isn't the same as before. It's not loud or frantic, it is sacred and grounded. It no longer craves stimulation or external validation, it yearns for alignment and authenticity. This renewed energy flows because resistance is releasing, the past is no longer gripped tightly, and you are no longer trying to become something you're not. You are simply being, and that being is powerful. This is the essence of Zen, to act without striving, to move without clinging. Your presence becomes medicine, not only to yourself but to the world around you. In this stage, you don't shine brighter, you become clearer, and clarity is power. The fourth door is life reordering without pushing, the path adjusts. Reflection shows how the outer world bends to the shape of the inner being. The soul that knows itself no longer begs the world to fit it. You become magnetic, not by trying to attract, but by aligning with your authentic self. The job ends, the door closes, the person leaves, not because you failed, but because something else must arrive, something that speaks the same language as your soul now speaks. Zen masters call this mushin, the mind of no resistance, the mind that does not fight what leaves, nor fear what arrives. It is in this openness that divine reordering takes place. The tree does not chase the wind, it only roots itself deeply and lets the wind do what it must. The fifth door is love without object, a new dimension of the heart. The most powerful love isn't directed towards another person, it's the love that flows when no one is present to receive it. The radiance of that kind of love cannot be faked, forced, or fabricated. It arises when the ego steps aside and presence takes its place. This is why the best stage of life feels like falling in love with now, with the breath, with the moment, with the ordinary. To love without attachment, to forgive without permission, to feel joy without seeking a reason, this is liberation. When you feel love flowing without a face, you are not lonely, you are returning home. The sixth door is intuition over anxiety, the true voice emerges. Reflection on this sign reminds us that the voice of truth is quiet but constant, anxiety shouts in fear, intuition whispers in peace. When you begin trusting your steps without asking the world to validate them, you've moved into higher consciousness. You no longer overthink or delay. You listen, act, adjust, and move forward, not because of certainty, but because of peace. Zen teaches, be like water, flowing, adapting, yet always finding its way. In this state, decisions no longer exhaust, they align. And even if outcomes are uncertain, the soul walks in harmony with its nature. Intuition is the compass of the awakened self, and it never leads where peace will not follow. The seventh and final door is gratitude for the past, the final alchemy. Pain transforms to wisdom only through reflection. The best stage of life doesn't begin because pain ends, it begins because pain becomes part of your awakening. The story ends with gratitude, not because all was easy, but because all was purposeful. Your scars are not signs of weakness, they are proof of ripening. Zen teaching holds that obstacles do not block the path, they are the path. This means what tried to break you actually revealed you, what delayed you actually aligned you, and what confused you taught you to seek inner clarity. The best stage of your life isn't a reward, it's a reflection of what you've already survived. It is the ultimate reflection, your inner garden is now ready. When a garden has been tilled, when weeds are removed, when soil is softened, and rain has come, flowers do not need to be begged, they bloom spontaneously. So it is with the soul. If you feel like nothing outside makes sense anymore, if peace matters more than success, if you crave silence more than noise, if you release more than you acquire, if your joy is subtle but real, then understand this, your inner soil has ripened. The next stage isn't coming, it has already begun. Let it unfold naturally. Do not rush, do not fear, do not compare. No butterfly mourns the cocoon, no bird mourns the egg, so why mourn the old self that pain helped shed? Sit with the arrival. You don't always need to build, fix, chase, or plan. Sometimes, you only need to sit, to breathe, to bow to your own becoming. The best stage of your life begins not when you run to it, but when you stop running away from who you are. So close your eyes, return to the breath, and listen. The silence you feel now is not emptiness, it is the echo of everything sacred arriving. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Just click the subscribe button below and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Also, feel free to leave a comment and let me know what you'd like to see next. See you in the next video.